Hi guys, Dr. Rob Barrington here with some more nutrition advice. I'd like to talk today about red wine alternatives. Red wine is a very healthy food. I recommend that people drink red wine. The nutritional literature shows that it has a number of health benefits, as well as the physiological health benefits. Sharing a glass of wine with people that you care about, the social interaction that involves is, I believe, a very important part of human health. Sharing food, the social aspects of sharing food is something that is unique to humans, and I believe that is a part of the benefits of red wine. But some people can't drink red wine, and some people don't want to drink red wine because of the alcohol content, and therefore I thought, because it was such a healthy food, that it would be a good idea to talk about alternatives for those people who read about red wine. They see how healthy it is, but they want to take the benefits, but they don't want to consume the alcohol. Now, the closest drink to red wine is probably grape juice. Grape juice is obviously made from grapes. The grapes are crushed. Many of the phytonutrients within the grapes pass into the grape juice. The difference between red wine and grape juice is that in red wine the sugars are fermented to alcohol, whereas in grape juice the sugars remain as their original sugar form. So when we drink red wine, we're drinking alcohol that has been created from the sugars from the original grape, but grape juice contains those original sugars. In terms of phytonutrients, obviously a lot of the phytonutrients that are in the original grape are in red wine. They're also in grape juice. Studies have compared red wine with grape juice, and generally the red wine has more beneficial effects than grape juice. There are beneficial effects from drinking grape juice, but they tend not to be as wide-ranging, and the reason for that is unfortunately because the grape juice doesn't contain ethanol, and ethanol, the alcohol content of red wine, is likely the one of the main reasons that it is such a healthy drink. Another reason that red wine is more beneficial is because during that fermentation process where the sugars are converted to alcohol, a number of the polyphenolic compounds within the red wine are converted to other compounds that aren't present in grape juice. So if you drink grape juice instead of red wine, you get some of the health benefits of red wine, but not all of them. And the main health benefit that you would miss out on would be that provided by ethanol. So what is it that ethanol provides in terms of health benefits, and how can we use other nutrition to see if we can match that in other ways? Well, ethanol appears to increase the fluidity of membranes in cells, and part of the benefits of ethanol consumption may be to do with the fact that it decreases the aggregation of platelets in your blood. So what studies have generally found is that those people consume alcohol for about a 24-hour window after they've consumed alcohol, they have a decrease in platelet aggregation. This means that they have a reduced chance of a heart attack. So based on these studies, you would need to consume red wine every day or every other day to have a benefit from consuming the ethanol. And this is quite a well reported phenomenon, and those people therefore who regularly consume ethanol have a reduced risk of cardiovascular disease and heart attacks. So what we need is another substance that can have a similar effect, that can decrease the risk of having heart attacks, and has some kind of effect on the platelets in the blood, makes them less sticky and therefore less likely to clump together to form a clot. I would recommend that if you're not already eating fish, or you're not consuming fish oil capsules, or you're not getting long chain fatty acids from algae, that you consider that instead. The effects of the long chain fatty acids in fish are similar to those found in alcohol, and in fact some research has shown that one of the benefits of the alcohol in alcoholic drinks is that it may stimulate flux through the essential fatty acid pathway, and actually that might be some of the beneficial effects of alcohol. In other words, what alcohol is doing is it is amplifying the effects of some of the essential fatty acids that you have in your body. Now this is interesting because it would suggest that if we can increase the amount of essential fatty acids we take in our diet, we would have a similar effect to some of the effects of ethanol on health. So if you consume grape juice, and if you've got a good intake of fish, fatty fish oil supplements, or long chain fatty acids from supplements of algae, you may be able to get most of the way to replicating the beneficial health effects of red wine. Another thing that you could incorporate into your diet if you didn't want to take in grape juice, because I don't really advocate consuming fruit juices because they are devoid of fibre, a better alternative would be to consume grapes. Many of the studies in the nutritional literature looking at grape juice and alcohol have not included whole grapes in those studies. I would suggest that those people who eat whole grapes would have all of the benefits of those people who consume grape juice, but they would also contain the fibre. The grapes would contain the fibre, and therefore they would have even more effects than grape juice. Grape juice will, if you overconsume it, overload the liver with fructose, and that will cause an increase through de novo lipogenesis pathway to create fatty acids and will lead to insulin resistance. I'm not saying that you should avoid grape juice completely, but you should limit your intake of all fruit juices. I would therefore suggest that if you have a good intake of grapes, and if you have a good intake of fish oil supplements, or long chain fatty acids from algal supplements, that you will go most of the way to replicating the health benefits of drinking red wine. Those people who do drink red wine, I encourage you to go and have a glass tonight. Drinking ethanol once a day, once every other day, is going to reduce your risk of having a heart attack. Now, if you go down the route of avoiding red wine, you will miss out on the social aspect of sharing a glass of red wine with friends. This is an important part of health. I would advocate that if you don't consume red wine, you find an alternative drink, maybe a non-alcoholic drink, and you still share a glass with your friends. This is an often overlooked part of health. Humans need social interaction, and sharing a glass of red wine in the evening with your friends will go a long way to improving your health.